Everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it is time for another pickups video. This is my April 2021 pickups video. I've got stuff this month from Kino Lorber, Shout Factory, eBay, Amazon, Best Buy, and I think that's it. I don't have as many titles this month as I did last month. But I do have a lot of really good quality stuff, a lot of good upgrades from DVD. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a lot of these in my posts. I post them as I got them over the month, but we'll start out with the Kino Lorber stuff. And first up is Beach Red, starring Cornell Wilde. And interesting ceiling. Feels like it's coming off, but it's not. This is a film that I discovered. I don't remember how I initially discovered it. It was on cable, I think, or on American Movie Classics or something during the afternoon about 17 years ago. I was watching TV and happened to catch this from the very beginning. Otherwise, I probably would have never heard of it. But this is a very interesting World War II movie. It takes place in the Southeast Pacific during the a conflict between the United States and Japan, and it actually tells the story of war from both sides, from the Japanese point of view and the American point of view, and it may be one of the the initially socially aware World War II films. I don't know, but this is sort of an anti-war movie, or an anti-war war movie, I should say. It's not anti-war movie. That would be kind of contradictory. But this is from 1967. I got this on DVD, and it looked pretty good. I'm hoping this one looks better, but I'm glad to have this finally on Blu-ray. Two of my favorite films are Cornell Wilde films. There's this one and The Naked Prey, which actually got the Criterion Collection treatment. But this is interesting, and there's actually a couple of scenes in here that I think had a direct impact and direct influence on Saving Private Ryan. So this is an influential film, even though you probably haven't heard of it. And if you have, you probably know how interesting it is. It's not a classic film. I like it more because it's different. It's not super high quality in terms of like the action scenes. You can tell it's kind of low budget and there's a lot of stock footage, but it's more the content of the script and the intent of the film that I really like. So this is definitely worth seeing if you're interested in seeing a sort of non-standard 1960s war film. This one was actually put out as a combination of Shout Factory and Code Red, but I got it from Kino Lorber, and it is Spawn of the Slithus, or Slithus, from 1977. This is a film that I actually went to the theater to see with my father. And I would have said, if you would have asked me with a gun to my head if this was rated R or rated PG, I would have said rated R based on what I remember from the film, because it was I think the first time I went to a film as a kid and saw nudity on screen, and there was quite a bit of gore. And I remember this being a lot better than it actually was, but I always had a soft spot for it because I saw it as a kid, and it was one of the first films I saw in the theater. But it is absolutely 100% a total trash classic, and it's basically about a creature from the Black Lagoon type creature that is kind of rises out of the nuclear waste, and I forget that it tells you where. Venice, California. But basically, this creature comes out of the pollution, the nuclear pollution, and starts killing people. And of course, he has to be thwarted. So it's sort of like a throwback to 50s type films. It's just hilarious. It's definitely, again, not a classic in terms of its quality, but a classic in terms of what it represents to me. And that's an upgrade from DVD. I actually own 2 copies of that film. Next are from Shout Factory. I took advantage of a sale that they had from Shout Select. And first up is The Jerk, the 40th anniversary edition of this classic Steve Martin film. I also saw this in the theaters with my father, so he didn't just take me to see garbage. This, of course, is just a hilarious film, also starring Bernadette Peters, Caitlin Adams, Mabel King, and Jackie Mason. And just sort of how the Steve Martin character stumbles his way through life and success, the rise and fall of this guy who's totally clueless. Just an amazing, amazing movie. Hilarious and just a comedy classic. It was directed by Carl Reiner. It was written by Steve Martin and Carl Gottlieb, and just hilarious classic comedy. I've seen it many, many times. This one is a film that I remember seeing, well, I remember seeing it once, and I really, really liked it. And I haven't seen it in a very long time, probably since the 80s. But I liked it so much that I wanted to get it on Blu-ray and watch it again. It's Midnight Run, starring Charles Grodin and Robert De Niro. And I honestly don't remember a lot about the plot. It says Jack Walsh is a tough ex-cop turned bounty hunter. Jonathan the Duke Mardukas, Charles Grodin, is a sensitive accountant who embezzled $15 million from the mob, gave it to charity, and then jumped bail. Jack's in for a cool $100,000 if he can deliver the Duke from New York to LA on time and alive. It sounds like just another midnight run, a piece of cake in bounty hunter slang, but it turns into a cross-country chase. The FBI wants the Duke to testify, the mob wants him for revenge, and Walsh just wants him to shut up. These two have great chemistry in this film. That's what I remember. I really am way overdue for a rewatch. And then last, another quote-unquote classic film, one of the many Jaws ripoffs that came out in the 70s. This is Orca. It says Orca the killer whale, but when I saw it in theaters, again, another film that my dad took me to see when I was a kid, it was just called Orca, and I actually had the novelization of this in paperback form, and it was just called Orca. So I don't know why. Maybe in international markets it was marketed as Orca the killer whale, but I know it just as Orca, and even on the spine it just says Orca. But this, of course, is it's not a Jaws ripoff so much as it kind of capitalized on the whole, animals gone wild trend that was very popular after Jaws came out. But Richard Harris plays a fisherman who brutally kills a female killer whale and her cub or pup. I don't know what you actually refer to. It's a baby killer whale. And the male, the mate of the female, goes on a revenge spree trying to avenge the death of his mate and his child. It's better than it sounds. It's not a terrible movie, but it got ravaged by critics, I remember. I liked it. I haven't seen it in quite a while, so again, it might be my memory as a child playing tricks on me, but I really, really liked this movie, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. All right, next up are three films I got separately from eBay. First is Satanic Panic. Although you see here it says Panic, this is the Walmart edited slipcover version. I got this just because it sounded interesting. I've seen this Hamilton book, I believe, had this available. And I've seen some people talking about it. I honestly don't know that much about it. It just sounded good. But it looks like a horror comedy. If you've seen this, let me know what you thought. If it's worth watching or prioritizing over anything else I might have in this video. But the cast sounds pretty good. It's Haley Griffith, Ruby Modine, Jerry O'Connell, and Rebecca Romaine. Here's the back. I don't know. Just got it on a whim. Sounds like something that I might like. Definitely something that I might like is I like the Lego movie, and this is the Lego Batman movie. I know some people picked this up at Dollar Tree. I was not able to find it, although I only spent $1 for it off of eBay, so no harm, no foul there. And this is a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, I believe. Yep. And everything I've heard about this movie has been great, so I'm really looking forward to watching this one. This is a re-edition to my collection. This is Space Battleship Yamato. This, of course, is based on the old Star Blazers cartoon from the 70s. It was anime, actually. I don't want to say cartoon because I'll probably piss somebody off. But I've actually seen this. I really enjoyed it. It brought back, it's live action, it's not animated, but it's a live action reinterpretation of the old Star Blazers anime. And I watched it in the native Japanese. I believe it also has English subtitles. Yes. Well, it obviously has English subtitles because that's how I watched it, but I believe there is also a dub on here. Maybe not. No. Oh, no. I don't know. Anyway, I watched it in the native Japanese with English subtitles. I really don't like watching dubbed versions of films if I can help it. But anyway, this is worth seeing if you're into or aware of Star Blazers from the 1970s. Next up is Hamilton Book. And the majority of these are films I have seen. A couple I have not. The first is Dark Tide. This is it was promoted as a terrifying shark film. Having seen it now, it is definitely not. It is more of an adventure film, at least by design. By execution, it's more of like a nap on film. This is really not a good movie at all. It's it's very, very talky, very unusual, but it does feature some of the best shark footage I've ever seen in a shark film that wasn't done with CGI. There's a little bit of CGI in this, but there's a lot of really natural, actual wild shark footage that's in this that is really, really good. I have to give it props for the photography, but in terms of the direction and the script and just the plot, it's like a soap opera with sharks. It's really kind of a talky, very boring, very poorly executed film. This happens to be the 1 hour and 34-minute version. There is apparently a different version that's 1 hour and 54 minutes. This does include the deleted scenes, but I don't know why the deleted scenes weren't included, because in some markets they got a longer film. It doesn't make it any better. The scenes that were deleted aren't any better and don't make the film any better. I don't know. Pass on Dark Tide. That's all I have to say. I also picked this up. This is the Harrison Ford 5 film collection. This includes Frantic, Presumed Innocent, The Fugitive, Firewall, and 42. I've seen all of these films except for 42, and I'm looking forward to seeing that one, mainly because I want to see the performance of Chadwick Boseman as Jackie Robinson. But I'm a big Harrison Ford fan, and picked this up. This was, I think, $15. I'm not a big fan of the packaging, which is just in these sort of folders. But for that amount of money for these films, it's definitely worth it, as long as I can make sure I put the films back in the slots correctly without scratching anything up. Frantic is a great movie. Presumed Innocent is a really good movie. The Fugitive is a really good movie. Firewall, it's okay. It's one of the lesser Harrison Ford films, but The Fugitive is probably worth the entire cost of the whole package. This next one is a blind buy, one of the few that I got in this haul, and this is the remake of Flatliners. And I don't even remember what year this came out. I can't make it out on here. It's too small and I'm too blind. But the cast on this is interesting. It's Ellen Page, I guess he's now Elliot Page, Diego Luna, Nina Dobrev, and Kiersey Clemens. I'm not familiar with the last person, but this, of course, is the remake of the 1990 movie that starred Julia Roberts and Oliver Platt and one of the Baldwins. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Kevin Bacon, I think, too. So what I want to do is I want to watch the original and then watch this and sort of compare them. Maybe I'll do a video comparing the two. If you've seen that one, let me know what you thought. Kind of splurged on this one. This is the Arrow remastered version of The Last Starfighter, one of my favorite films from the 1980s. This is just a really fun, sort of nostalgic movie for me, featuring Lance Guest and Dan O'Herlihy, Robert Preston as Centauri. This, of course, is about a young man who is recruited to help an alien race fight a battle, and he's recruited by his prowess at video games. It's one of the first films that used CGI, and the CGI hasn't aged really well, but it still gives the film a kind of a unique charm. I really like this film. The chemistry between Lance Guest and Dan O'Herlihy is sort of his co-pilot. Is really good. This was directed by Nick Castle, and if you know your trivia, Nick Castle played Michael Myers in the first Halloween film. And this is the Francis Ford Coppola version of Bram Stoker's Dracula. This I had saw a long time ago in the theater. I've seen it a couple times since then, and I just figured I would pick this up. This is a Canadian bilingual release, but this was remastered in 4K. Comes with the slipcover. And I don't remember a lot about this that I can specifically speak to, other than overall I thought it was a pretty decent film. I liked Gary Oldman's performance. I know Keanu Reeves gets a lot of flack for his sort of surfer dialect in this. Winona Ryder's in this. But I don't remember a whole lot about this, so I'm really looking forward to watching it again. I know I've seen it at least twice, but my overall perception was that it's good, but I don't remember specifically what I liked and what I didn't like. Okay, next up is Best Buy. And this is a film that I bought it kind of as a joke for my wife, because every time this movie is on TV, we stop and watch it. We've seen it I don't know how many times together. And I went to the theater to see this when it came out in 1996. This is one of those movies that I just can't not watch when it's on TV. So why not own it on Blu-ray? I don't know. It's a fun film. It's ridiculous. Of course, this is about storm chasers in the Plain States. They're chasing a bunch of tornadoes, and there's the good guys and the bad guys led by Cary Elwes, and there's a whole love triangle type thing between Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, and Jamie Gertz. Jamie Gertz from Square Pegs, which if you watched video a couple of months ago, I picked up Square Pegs on DVD. Don't know why I'm throwing that in there, but I did. And this is just a fun, stupid movie. It was written by Michael Crichton and Anne-Marie Martin, and produced by Kathleen Kennedy, Ian Bryce, and Michael Crichton. Directed by Jan de Bont. Just a really silly, stupid movie, but I really like it. This is a blind buy. I've heard nothing but good things about this, so I wanted to check it out, and I picked it up at Best Buy, I think for $7, $8. Uncut Gems, starring Adam Sandler. I have not heard anything but good things about this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I've heard that his performance is really good, but I want to get a chance to see this very quickly. This is a blind buy. It's one of those things that I can't believe I'm telling you this. I've never seen The Sandlot. But my wife has told me over and over again that I need to see this movie. My brother-in-law has told me over and over again that I need to see this movie. And virtually anybody who's ever heard that I haven't seen it kind of drops their jaw and says, "What? You haven't seen The Sandlot? It's fantastic." So hopefully it's one of those movies that I don't let the hype get to me, and I don't dislike it because everybody's built it up, and I don't think it's that great. But I don't know. We'll see. But I got it for $5 from Best Buy. This is also a blind buy. This is the only Alien film I have not yet seen. This is Alien Covenant. This follows in the footsteps of Prometheus, which I saw in the theater, but I never got around to seeing this. And I don't know why. I think it's because I've heard mixed reviews on it. Some people hate it. Some people like it. It was directed by Ridley Scott. The quote on the back says it's the best Alien movie since the original. We'll see. I'm very skeptical of that because that would mean it is better than Aliens. And even though Aliens is a completely different type of movie, it's still a part of this franchise, and it's really, really good. So I don't know. We'll see. If you've seen this, let me know what you thought. And then last, definitely not least, is Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. This is a 2-disc set. I got this from Amazon. This is my only Amazon pick. And we've got loose discs. Well, we did have loose discs for 2 seconds, and now I don't. That's really weird. I'm going to have to open this up and check these out. But anyway, this is the Big Hairy American Winning Edition. This is another movie that my wife and I will watch anytime we see it on TV, and I figured I was placing an order for something small and stupid on Amazon that I needed right away, and just to pad it out and make it worth a purchase, I threw this in my cart just because it happened to be on sale for $8. So this is a really silly, stupid movie about NASCAR racing, and of course it's got Will Ferrell, and so you know what you're kind of getting right out of the box. But I know Sacha Baron Cohen's performance in this is very, very funny. Gary Cole is really good in this. John C. Reilly is good in this. It's so over the top and silly, you just can't help but laugh at it. But this is the type of movie that I know rubs people the wrong way. I don't know. If you're looking for something to watch when you're feeling brain dead, this is definitely one of those movies. Guilty pleasure, if you will. So there you go. Those are my pickups for April of 2021. As always, feel free to comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Click the thumbs up button and click that little bell to get notified when I make a new video. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Take it easy.